My name is Doug. I'm a school teacher here in Las Vegas. I've been teaching for 9 years in Clark County School District. Moved down here to take a teaching job. Moved from the state of Washington. I find my job to be a challenge some days, especially after spring break, because after spring break until the end of the year it's a long haul. I was actually born in Seattle. We moved out to a little town called Issaquah. It's not very little any longer, but I went K through 12 in this little town of Issaquah. We were actually the first African-American family to live in the town. We were, as my wife would say, CEOs, Christmas, Easter only for church. As I became an adult and got married and had children, my ex and I, we used to take our kids to a non-denominational church. We went fairly often. Again, I don't know that it was more attending to feel good as opposed to attending to have a true walk and relationship with God. It was there, but it wasn't, I won't say heartfelt, it wasn't sinking in deep. In the last 3 months, 4 months, really had some real fire building up, and during one of the first Wednesdays when there was worship going on, I just had this overwhelming feeling of God speaking to me, and that was really kind of the clinching thing of, okay, this is time for my, not that I hadn't, but for me to really commit my life to Christ and to be in the Word and seek that relationship. I've come to the point where asking for forgiveness, asking for direction, and surrendering, doing what I can, but surrendering God's will is the way I need to do things. So I know I can't do it alone. I'm coming to the point where I can get up and say, God, this day is yours. Direct me where you need me to go, and help me to be as Christ-like as possible, which when teaching can be difficult. Would definitely like to thank my beautiful wife Becky for, first of all, being very loving, supportive, standing behind me, having patience with me, but also being smart enough or wise enough to say, you know, I'd be excited to have you be on this walk, but this walk needs to be for you, which was, I think, really, really wise, and because she's been a Christian for a long time, and her faith is not without question. She's very knowledgeable in lots of different religions and knows Christianity where she wants to be, but giving me the opportunity to go at my own pace, and I still feel like I'm walking through mud as I'm going through the pace, but definitely her and her family, because they've been very gracious and supportive, and are very, very strong Christians, and help us me to continue to develop that faith and deepen that faith. What I'd say to encourage anyone who's struggling or is questioning their faith is find a church, get plugged in, talk to some of the people you find can relate with. Maybe it might take a service or two to kind of feel comfortable, but get plugged in, find someone to talk to, and just ask questions about the church and what their belief is, what their mission is for Christ and following Christ, and see if that's something that speaks to you. And from that point, take the steps it takes to find Christ in your life and be born again. Just kind of felt like at this point, with everything I've had a chance to do and see and experience, it was time to make that dive, so to speak. Really felt the voice of God telling me I'm on the right path, and I just figured the next logical step was to go ahead and make that outward public commitment.